Welcome to Eskemoz Reads Dystopian Edition. Hello and welcome back to Eskemoz. It's Wednesday, which means we're back with our favorite day of the week. Today's journey takes us through the shadowy corners of dystopian futures. From telepathic brain control to rebellious upheavals against stern regimes, we're going to navigate the back alleyways of our imaginations. So buckle up, it's about to get weird. First up is 1984 by George Orwell, a chilling narrative of a future dominated by a totalitarian regime. Picture this: a world where Big Brother is always watching, where you can't trust your own thoughts, and where even the slightest deviation from the norm could land you in hot water. We follow Winston Smith, an average guy who starts to question everything around him. What if the government, the party, was manipulating every aspect of their lives? Winston's journey is a total mind trip, making you question everything you thought you knew about control and freedom. 1984 was written back in the 1940s, but it still feels so relevant today. If you're looking for a book that will blow your mind and make you question the world around you, then 1984 is definitely worth checking out. Next up, we delve into the murky world of A Clockwork Orange, delving into the social implications of youth violence and societal meltdown. This novel, written by Anthony Burgess, is a cornerstone of dystopian literature. A Clockwork Orange is definitely not for the faint of heart. Its graphic depictions and unsettling themes push the boundaries of conventional storytelling. It's dark, it's disturbing, and it will stay with you long after you finish reading it. The novel's atmosphere is thick with tension and moral ambiguity. The story follows Alex, a charismatic but totally messed up teenager who leads his gang on a rampage of ultra-violence. His actions are both horrifying and fascinating. As much as you hate Alex for what he does, you also can't help but be drawn to his character. His complex personality makes him an unforgettable anti-hero. The book explores the idea of free will and whether it's ever really possible to change someone's nature, even if they've done terrible things. It questions the morality of using psychological conditioning to reform criminals. A Clockwork Orange doesn't shy away from tough questions. It dives deep into the ethics of punishment and the essence of human nature. It shoves them right in your face and makes you confront them head-on. The novel forces readers to grapple with uncomfortable truths about society and themselves. If you're up for a challenge both intellectually and emotionally, then give A Clockwork Orange a read. It's a book that will provoke thought and stir emotions long after the final page is turned. In Barcode Tattoo, a future America has its citizens barcoded at 13. Imagine a world where your entire identity is reduced to a barcode tattooed on your skin. We follow Logan, a teenager who's about to turn 13 and get his barcode. But Logan's not down with that. He's heard whispers about people disappearing and the government using the barcodes to control everyone. When Logan's sister, Kayla, gets her barcode and vanishes, he knows something is seriously wrong. He's determined to uncover the truth behind the barcodes, even if it means putting himself in danger. Barcode Tattoo makes you think about the price of freedom and the dangers of a society that values control over individual liberty. Chapter 4. The Sheep Look Up, with its alarming depiction of environmental ruin and overpopulation, feels less like far-fetched fiction and more like a dire prediction. The Sheep Look Up takes you on a wild ride through a world ravaged by pollution, overpopulation, and social unrest. Imagine a world where the air is toxic, the water is contaminated, and the food is synthetically engineered. The story follows different characters navigating this dystopian nightmare. There's a guy trying to expose the corporations responsible for the environmental disaster, and a family just trying to survive. The Sheep Look Up is a total gut punch because it doesn't hold back in its portrayal of the consequences of our actions. It's a stark reminder that we need to start taking care of our planet and each other, or else we're headed straight for disaster. Chapter 5. If the idea of an attempted utopia gone awry engages your curiosity, then this next book touches two young characters striving to rescue their ominous society. This book explores the dark side of the utopian dream. The story follows two young characters who have always been taught that their society is the best, the most advanced, the most just in the world. But as they grow older, they start to see the cracks in the facade. They realize that their supposedly perfect world is built on a foundation of secrets, control, and oppression. The more they learn, the more determined they become to expose the truth and fight for real freedom. This book raises interesting questions about the nature of utopia and whether it's even possible to create a perfect society. Chapter 6. Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale propels us into a world where fertile women are subjugated as a result of extreme theocratic rule. This dystopian narrative is a chilling exploration of power and control. The Handmaid's Tale is a powerful and deeply disturbing story about the dangers of religious extremism and the oppression of women. It serves as a cautionary tale, warning us about the potential consequences of unchecked power. The story takes place in Gilead, a totalitarian society that has overthrown the United States government. This new regime enforces strict social hierarchies and rigid gender roles. In Gilead, women have no rights. They're not allowed to read, write, or even speak their minds. Their lives are controlled in every aspect, from their clothing to their daily activities. Fertile women are forced to become handmaids, baby-making slaves for the ruling elite. Their sole purpose is to bear children for the powerful commanders and their barren wives. We follow Offred, a handmaid determined to hold on to her identity and her memories in a world that wants to strip her of everything. Her resilience and inner strength become a beacon of hope. The Handmaid's Tale is a tough read, but it's an important one. It challenges us to think critically about our own society and the direction it could take. It's a stark reminder of what can happen when we let fear and intolerance dictate our actions. The novel forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about power and human rights. This book will stay with you long after you finish reading it. Its haunting message lingers, urging us to remain vigilant and protect our freedoms. Chapter 7. Blindness, We, Never Let Me Go, Cloud Atlas, The Stand, The Wind-Up Girl, Fahrenheit. 451 and The Giver are further masterpieces in this genre which explore various aspects of dystopian futures. Each of these books offers a unique perspective on what our world could become, making them essential reads for any dystopian fiction enthusiast. The valor of the human spirit, cloning programs, intertwined pasts, plagues, biotech-dominated futures, and authoritarian regimes make for a chilling yet fascinating read. These stories delve deep into the human psyche, exploring how we might react under extreme circumstances and what it means to retain our humanity. First up, we've got Blindness by Jose Saramago. This novel is a gripping tale that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Imagine a world where everyone suddenly goes blind, except for one person. This lone-sighted individual becomes a beacon of hope and a target of fear. Blindness explores the breakdown of society and the darkness that can emerge in the human heart when all hope seems lost. It's a powerful commentary on the fragility of civilization and the resilience of the human spirit. Then there's We by Yevgeny Zamyatin, which is considered one of the OG dystopian novels. This book laid the groundwork for many dystopian stories that followed. It's set in a super-controlled society where everyone is assigned a number, and individuality is basically non-existent. The story challenges the concept of freedom and the cost of a perfectly ordered society. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro is a total tearjerker. This novel will tug at your heartstrings and make you question the ethics of scientific advancements. It's a hauntingly beautiful story about love, loss, and what it means to be human in a world where your fate is predetermined. The character's journey will leave you pondering long after you've turned the last page. Chapter 8. We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. This book, you guys, this book! It's like the OG dystopian novel, and it'll totally mess with your head in the best way possible. Picture this, a world where everything is controlled, down to the clothes you wear and the thoughts you think. We follow D503, an engineer who's totally bought into the whole system. But then, he meets I330, a rebellious woman who makes him question everything he thought he knew. As their relationship develops, D503 starts to see the cracks in the one state's facade. We is a total trip, and it'll definitely make you think about the dangers of conformity and the importance of individuality. Chapter 9. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. Get your tissues ready because this one is a total tearjerker. Never Let Me Go takes place in a seemingly idyllic boarding school called Hailsham. The students there are like any other, except for one major difference. They're clones, created to donate their organs to humans. We follow Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy, three friends who grow up together at Hailsham. knowing that their lives are going to be cut tragically short. Despite their fate, they try to live their lives to the fullest, forming friendships, falling in love, and dreaming of a future they know they'll never have. Never Let Me Go is a masterpiece of storytelling that will stay with you long after you finish reading it. Chapter 10. And finally, we have Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. This book is on a whole other level. Cloud Atlas is structured as a series of nested stories, each one connected to the others in subtle and surprising ways. We travel from the 19th century to a distant future, encountering a diverse cast of characters along the way. Cloud Atlas will make you question everything you thought you knew about time, fate, and the nature of reality. So there you have it, our pick of the best dystopian narratives waiting to tear you away from reality and base you squarely in their desolate realms. From totalitarian regimes to environmental disasters, these books explore the darkest corners of our imaginations, but they also remind us of the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of fighting for what we believe in. Share with us which dystopian account holds your intrigue and why. Until our next book date, this is Eskemoz signing off.